like to end like about 5.
Oh, there you go. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Sorry for cutting you off, Calc.
I didn't realize you were gonna hit live so fast.
Yeah, we always talk backstage. Not here on time. Cut it out, we're just live. She commented that right as we went live, by the way. There you go. Perfect timing. We always talk backstage, so my apologies for cutting you off. We lost against Madrid, in case you missed the big headline. And it was an embarrassing loss. Now, I do think that the entire lineup at the Etihad was good, except for the one thing. And I think we both know what I'm about to say.
To Johnny Rangers?
No.
What?
Bernardo Silva.
Oh, well, to be fair, when he got sent off, I think we still played the same. I didn't notice a drop off at all. I guess this is more about him.
I think our attacking got better when Bernardo Silva was sent off, because when he gets onto the ball, he just slows everything down. And that's a bad thing. I think, I've said this a lot, I think just Bernardo or just Rodri is fine, but you have them both there and you slow everything down. Yeah. And it becomes redundant, and neither are great defensively. I know Rodri is very good defensively, but he's not got the physicality to play in that deep role at the moment, because he is just back from an ACL. So you do put an O'Reilly next to him. Now, on the penalty, Bernardo Silva, I don't really blame him for it. He should just never be in that position. Pep should never put him in that position. That is where an O'Reilly should be. That's where a Gonzalez should be, not O'Reilly. Or not Silva. That is just... Why a double pivot here? We saw in the FA Cup final, double pivot of De Bruyne and Silva. How well did that go?
Terrible.
Yeah, you can't play these double pivots when neither of them have the physicality.
Well, yeah, physicality, speed. Because we're just getting roasted on transitions. Like, Rodri can't do it by himself. That's why I've been crying all season for Rodri and Nico G together. Because I think Nico G covers Rodri's biggest weakness right now, which is off-ball defending. Nico G has managed to turn himself into a very good player off-ball. And Rodri's much better on ball. So for me, it's like the perfect match. Like, I think Nico G is not quite as good on ball.
You know
Rodri's
what?
elite at it, and then Rodri's not very good off ball. And I think Nico G has made himself very good off ball. And like, I think that would adequately take care of it, because Rodri can do the on ball stuff, get the ball from the center backs, progress the play. Nico G can just stay back in case they pick a ball off, and because obviously you're gonna lose the ball every now and then. So if he's kind of back there sitting back, Rodri could push forward a bit more and do what he does best right now, which is on-ball work. And I think it's criminal that we haven't even seen it tested out. We saw it for 20 minutes at the end of a Spurs game that lost control long before Nico G came on. I think he subbed on right before that second goal, but like that literally happened within like 10 seconds of him coming on the pitch. So I'm like, I'm struggling to blame him for that one, but we've only seen it for like 20 minutes, and I just don't get it. Like, why haven't we seen it in some, like, you could have done it against Wolves. You could have done it. Like, there were games to test it out in. Maybe Nico G was injured then. I don't remember his injury timeline, but I just don't think that.
No, he wasn't injured.
Don't know if it worked or not.
Yeah, he wasn't injured for that game. Big up Tony, by the way. Thank you for subscribing. I saw an interesting analysis on... I don't know where I read it. I remember reading it. I don't know where I read it. Where basically the point was, you can't have Gonzalez and Rodri together because they do the same role, and it creates a redundancy, even though Gonzalez does cover for Rodri. And O'Reilly can play that role because O'Reilly can go up when Rodri goes down, and vice versa. So Gonzalez and Silva works better together. And it was a very good analysis, but my problem is that assumes that we play Gonzalez and Silva, and then we substitute both off for O'Reilly and Rodri. But that's never what happens. Like, if the problem here, which is a big problem in my opinion, is that these old players can't play a full 90, then you need to sub them off. And if Gonzalez and Rodri can't work together, which I disagree with, but listen, some people have made very good points as why they can't. I disagree, but let me grant that. Then you take off Gonzalez too, and you put on O'Reilly. It doesn't seem like that big of a problem to me. You have 5 substitutions. I don't see a problem with making 2 of them.
Yeah, and also Nico O'Reilly and Nico Gonzalez, we've seen limited time of it together, but that's looked pretty good. And then your point about the old players not being able to last a full 90, where have we conceded a lot of these late equalizers? You know, it's when they start to gas out. I think Silva has been gassing out consistently around the 60th to 70th minute. And Rodri's kind of around the same. And you like the one that stands out in my mind the most was that Chelsea game when they put on Santos into the midfield and he was energetic and young. And the 2 of them just gassed out right away. And it's amazing we held on as long as we did at 1-0. And then obviously O'Reilly messed up at the end defensively.
By the way, just to answer the question in chat here, I think you can, I think you can. But a lot of people, mainly Pep, and people who have analyzed it, a lot of people think you can't. I do think you can have Rodri as the 8 and Gonzalez as the deeper midfielder. I think that would work. But a lot of people say, no, that wouldn't work. Pep has said that wouldn't work. So, okay, let's grant that. Let's say it wouldn't work. We know Gonzalez and Silva works. We've seen it for half a season. We know O'Reilly and Rodri works. We've seen that for last 5 games or something like that. So we know those 2 systems work. We know that Silva runs out of energy after about 50 to 60 minutes. We now know Rodri does the same. So what you just do is you use 2 substitutes. You choose whichever you like to start with. Then after 50, 60 minutes, you make 2 changes and you continue playing football. But if you're not going to be willing to make those changes, if you're not going to be willing to use your substitutes bench, then you're going to have to find different solutions. And what we do is we do neither. So
we concede and drop points.
Yeah,
we would be ahead by about 8 or 10 points if we just could manage the end of games better. And I get it. He wants his controllers out there, but again, they're not controlling the game. We got into a really heated discussion about this on Judge Mo. Not heated, but like a very intense conversation about like control. And a lot of it was about Bernardo Silva. Go listen to the replay on that one. But just some very interesting points made. So it's a bit kind of saying the same thing all day.
I mean, you know what? You run out of things to talk about with Man City.
Wow. I'm surprised I didn't get some angry DMs about it, being like, "How dare you say that about the captain?" But I keep it about football. I don't make it personal. It's just football. I think the quality of his football has declined enough to make us that takes away that eliteness from our team. If you had somebody a little bit better in there, we'd probably be holding on to these points. We'd probably find a way to beat West Ham. We'd probably hold on against Brighton. We'd probably hold on against Chelsea. We'd probably find a way to beat Forest. And that's like 10 points in a title race right there that we could have had. And it's just like
to add on to
annoying.
that, if you don't have that drop off in the second half, which I see a lot of people link that to poor passing in the net, but we had Ederson last season, it still happened. I linked that to second half. This has been proven over and over, by the way. Opta, StatsMuse, a lot of different statistical like things that guide these statistics. I don't know what you would call them. They keep proving over and over that every season, Premier League teams will press 15 to 20% more in the second half. When you have older players who run out of energy, you're going to get cooked in the second half when that switch does turn on. You saw it with Newcastle today. Newcastle without Bruno Guimaraes. When that switch goes on and the second half comes around and that energy comes into the game and you don't have that, you're cooked. But that has nothing to do with goalkeeper. That has nothing to do with player quality. It's just pure athleticism. And I know people are like, well, football is not athleticism, but you're wrong. The reason why England won the World Cup in 1966. Don't take my opinion for it. Take the England national team coach their opinion for it. It's because they were better athletes, not because they were better footballers. Athleticism is a part of football, always has been. It's not a new thing. And when you lack that, you pay the price in the second half. It's that simple, in my opinion.
Yeah. And yeah, it's happened 2 seasons in a row. So there's only a couple things that correlate between this season and last season. And one of the main things between this season and last season, a constant, has been Bernardo Silva. He's been part of a lot of these epic meltdowns that we've had. And I can't listen to the argument that he's essential for control when he's been part of all of these crazy chaotic meltdowns that we've had in the past 2 seasons. He's played in all of them. And I'm not saying it's specifically him, but you have to say it's a factor because he's the only common denominator. And like I said, I've said this a million times. I think Bernardo has been an excellent servant for the club. He has been. I think he no longer is.
That can also be deceptive, though, because correlation is not causation either. I agree with you that Bernardo Silva is part of the problem, but
he's not the only one.
Yeah.
He's definitely not the only one. There's a lot of inexperience out there in youth, like, the Feyenoord game. He was on the pitch, but then it was a bunch of young players who came on, and Joško Vardiel made a very bozo mistake. I think Mateus Nunes had a mistake in that one. So those are not Bernardo Silva's fault, but yeah, his energy levels have been declining. That's just a fact. And, I think a lot of us just don't want to let go. Like, I think we're still clinging on to this treble team. And, the reality is that, we have to rebuild this team. We have to transition it. And I think we've recruited very well, and we could see it. These new players, like Nico Gonzalez, has improved a lot since he's come here, and he'll never be Rodri ever, but that doesn't mean he can't be a good player.
Even then, we said that about Rodri and Fernandinho too. We said Rodri will never be Fernandinho.
Yeah. And then
you won't know until you give them a chance.
And I don't know what Nico G has done wrong to deserve this benching. Like, he's getting the Calvin Phillips treatment without the Calvin Phillips performance. Like, he's actually done very well. And I think we played some of our best football this season with him on the pitch. Like, we were playing that more direct style earlier in the season. We won like 8 games in a row. That was the only time in the season we had some consistency in the team. The style work, it was playing players in their correct positions, and everybody was thriving. Phil Foden was cooking. Remember that guy? We haven't seen him in forever. He was doing great. Turkey was doing great. The two of them were just feeding off of each other. Like you said, like has been said, you need excellent technique to beat physicality, and we were doing that. We were playing physical teams, and we had these two technicians who were elite and like running the show. And Jeremy Doku was running like crazy and he was serving up Erling Haaland. Haaland was scoring. Everybody looked happy, and the play was well. And Bernardo was part of that too. He was very good in that stretch as well. So it can be done with him. And we just went away from it. And that's been really frustrating me since the year turned to 2026. We haven't looked consistent at all. We keep changing the team. We keep changing the style every other game. It's a mess.
Yeah, Bernardo.
Sorry, that was a lot.
No. But Bernardo deserves his praise, and I have praised him this season. I think the first half of the season he's been brilliant. And brilliant is a bit subjective, isn't it? Some people don't think that you're brilliant unless you're the best in the world. I know you have to be careful when you say that, because you have some people who are like, oh, well, he's not the best in the world, so how can he be brilliant? But I do think he was very good in the first half of the season. Second half of the season, you keep playing him in a system that I just don't think works for him. So you can't blame Bernardo himself that he's not worked a lot or well. But I do think it's a fact he's not worked very well second half of the season. Sure,
yeah, this system we're playing in the second half is just, I don't think it's working for anybody.
Yeah, I think that's just the bottom line. It's not working for anybody.
Yeah, the attack has sputtered. Yeah, I don't think we're creating as many chances. Yeah, and some of these, like this 3-1-6 that he's ran a few times, particularly in the Champions League and against Manchester United, it's just awful. Like, it doesn't work. Rodri can't do what's being asked of him, and teams are pouncing on it. Like, teams are attacking the middle, and they're cutting through it very easily because, like we said, it's too it's too redundant in there. There's not enough legs. Nico O'Reilly's patching it up a little bit, but what you realistically what you need is you need 2 younger legs, and you can have one old, and then they can carry the one older one, or you could have 2 physical players as like a pivot and play Cherky in front of them, and that's to me that solves a lot of the issues. It solves the creativity issue because you need Cherky in that line, as you saw yesterday. We can't keep benching Ryan Cherky. He was brilliant yesterday, and. But in order to kind of the fact that he's not quite up to speed off ball, that's why you have the extra protection behind him, in my opinion, at least. Like, that's why I would play Rodri and Nico G together to protect it so that Ryan Cherky could go crazy. So if Nico Gonzalez has been great at winning the ball back. So
I do think that's a bit what we had with Nico Gonzalez. You just knew Gonzalez was going to clear it up in that midfield. So what you did, and you also had Gvardiol, which was a big help.
Yeah, that is a big difference.
So I think when you just had, Gvardiol is brilliant, Gonzalez is brilliant. So your attack can just go forward without having to worry too much about what's happening behind them. And that does liberate you a lot. Big up, by the way, to Vasco, to Rosa, to Captain is Washed, big up Rosa. To Luke, big up. Doku will never be Hazard. He's better. Okay.
Did you say he's better than Hazard? What? Oh.
He's trolling me. He's trolling me. Big up Martin as well. How was yesterday humiliating? A lot of remontada talk, and remontada was done after 20 minutes.
I thought we started the game off very well. We looked like, but the longer we went without scoring just made it more unlikely. And then unfortunately, once you get that red card, you just know it's done. And I didn't realize that you could get a penalty. I didn't realize the double jeopardy thing was still a thing. I thought they changed it so you could only be one. I didn't realize it was a red and a pen. So I don't understand that rule.
Well, no, it's if you just take the ball out of the net, like if you take the ball out of the net or you make a foul that denies a goal scoring opportunity, you will get a red card. Like the thing is with the double jeopardy is if you have intent to play the ball but you don't. For example,
he literally just stuck his elbow. He literally, you can like see it. He's moving up, like he's literally moving his elbow up. And I get it, that's instinct, but it's against
the double
rules.
jeopardy thing will never be relevant to handballs like that. Not under the current rules, of course. I mean, like that.
Yeah, I know. They change the rules so often, I can't keep up anymore. I'm like Pep. I don't know what a handball is anymore.
Bro,
I still think back to that Mahrez goal disallowed against what was it, Copenhagen or somebody? No, not Copenhagen. Somebody at the Etihad in the treble season, maybe it was Sevilla. I don't remember, but that handball that they took from on Mahrez, I'm just like, I don't know what this is anymore. I don't get it.
The problem is they can't stick to one rule. They should just decide on some rules and stick with them for 5 years.
Sorry.
What happened?
It was offside. Damn it. Yeah, Lookman just scored for Atletico. I got the Atletico game on. I'm just on Spurs hate watch right now because fuck them.
Brilliant.
I just did a watch along for Barcelona Newcastle with one of Steve's friends who's a Newcastle fan, and wow, the second half of that game, I was getting the feels. I was like, I remember when City used to play like this, and that made me sad. I was like, wow, we have fallen quite off. Like the switches, the diagonals, the through balls. I was like, we just don't do that anymore. Oh, they're checking the goal. Oh, come on, give it to us. Come on. Forget Spurs. No remontada today. But the remontada yesterday, oof.
By the way,
Bodo Glint Hohen.
I just want to comment on something, by the way, which I see a lot now.
No goal.
LB said, and big up to LB, always respect him. But this is what I hate, and this is not the fault of any content creator. This is the fault of like the people who watch them. LB said that we're gonna need Foden. Didn't add a lot of context. Now I see it all over Twitter. Like, it's one man's sake. You don't need to copy paste it everywhere.
To be fair, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, but it's very telling that this takes surfaces all over the place right after YouTube protesters. It's a bit annoying. I don't know, a pet peeve by mine, you can call it.
Dude.
Uh,
Do you know what the most pep thing would be to do? Is he's gonna start Foden on Sunday. Like when he started Sterling in the Champions League final out of form. Like it would be the most pep thing to do. I can almost see it now. Maybe where Tijani Raiders is playing. Maybe.
No. I'm just using you as a device, you know. Also, you have not always defended Foden, but I've got receipts. I've got receipts, you know. I was proud last night to be a fan. No, Martin. You're just arguing last night. I never said humiliation yesterday. I said humiliated by Madrid. We lost 5-1.
In the tie.
Yeah, that is humiliation.
Games,
yeah. That is humiliation. When we beat Madrid 5-1 in the treble season, we humiliated Madrid. We didn't humiliate them at the Bernabeu, but over the tie, we did humiliate them. So even then, I don't think we played very good yesterday. Yeah, we went a man down, but that's our own fault. I don't think you play well because you tried to fight back with a man down. I think you just made a dumb mistake to go a man down. I didn't find anything we did very inspiring other than the Haaland goal. Some of the Doku dribbles, which we know he can dribble, but also the final balls, which were good that day. And I
thought Turkey made a good impact. He was cooking with Doku. Him and Doku were passing to each other quite a bit, and I thought that was very positive compared to what we've seen lately.
I think our attack has been the best it's been for a long while, in that game specifically. So that is a positive. If Pep takes that to the Carabao Cup final, I think we can win it. But if he changes that up again, then my confidence is going to be a bit low. So yeah.
Yeah, I would pretty much start the same lineup, just about. I guess the only two I could see you possibly changing around would be, I don't even know if I'd change the center backs. I'd keep the back line the same. Because Gahey's ineligible. He can't play. So you got to keep Husinov in there for me, just based on form. And Husinov was tremendous yesterday. And I don't think you should be benching
You've got only Diaz and Husinov unless you want to play Alain in a final or
Stones or Ake.
Yeah, so
I don't know if I would start them. I don't think they have the match fitness for a final right now. But to be fair, that's probably something Pep would do. Like, you know, Pep in a final just does weird shit like that. Obviously, Trafford has absolutely earned the start.
Hey,
Trafford has been excellent in the knockout games. Yeah, he's going to start.
Calma.
Hey, and according to some people, we're going to play better with a keeper who kicks in the back.
Calculate. Calma, Vasco. Calma. Respect. Respect in chat, guys. Don't be rude to each other. Respect. Because I can't have Vasco disrespecting Martin here. Can't have that.
Yeah, leave Martin alone.
Yeah. I'm going to watch the Liverpool game. I promise you it's not going to be a good game. Liverpool are shit right now, too.
Oh, my God. Imagine like 4 English teams go out this round. No, 5, because Chelsea's already... Oh, my God. That'd be so embarrassing if everybody got eliminated except Arsenal.
Yeah.
That coefficient is going to be shitty. And when are we going to start having a conversation about these failures in the Champions League? That is going to start costing some money because the further you go, the more money you get. So this is 2 years in a row we haven't gone past our 16.
Generally speaking, top clubs aim for quarterfinal. That's what top clubs generally aim for. But when I say top club, I mean like Barcelona, Bayern München, Real Madrid. I'm not sure if we're in that same category. I think as long as we get to knockouts, it's probably fine for the club. I don't know.
I don't know what the difference is.
I don't know if financially the club is looking at quarterfinals. Maybe they are. I think we're well off enough financially, to be honest, regardless. But we do have to win trophies. We do have to win.
If we go 2 years with no trophies, or if the only trophy we win is a Carabao, it doesn't pay very much money. Like, I guess finishing higher in the Premier League, if we get second instead of third, that should be a little bit more money than last season. But yeah, Bottom line is you got to win some trophies. You got to win some majors to get that cheddar cheese. Oh, you might not know what that means. That's a way of saying money.
I don't know that reference.
Oh, yeah, it's like a '90s reference. Money, basically. You get that cheddar cheese. You know.
I do not.
Never. It's from some like '90s thing. Yeah, before your time. I'm just aging myself there.
Not spent 600 million, by the way. Yeah, but we have spent 400 million in a very short period of time.
Yeah, I don't know where the 600 comes from, but we have spent a decent amount of money, though.
People do this constantly. I see it as well with Haaland's wage. I see a lot of people say Haaland is on $1 million. Like it started on 500k, then it went to 550. Then I saw someone say 700k. Now I see $1 million everywhere. Like, where do people get these numbers from?
There's probably bonuses in there, but
yeah,
if there are goal bonuses, he ain't getting very many of those because he ain't scoring much. Let's be real. He's not scoring a lot this. He has since the year has turned to 2026. I think that's only like his second or third open play goal this whole in all comps since the year turned. Like that's alarming. Victor Gyökeres is outscoring him in 2026. Yikes.
Yeah, but that's where scoring rates can get a bit deceptive because that is Haaland at his worst and Gyökeres at his best. So let's be honest, this is the best he's going to be.
I get that. It's just Haaland has not. He's had chances too. I mean, I agree. Lately, the past couple of weeks, he's had far fewer. But in January, he had chances that he was missing. Like remember the Brighton game, he had a couple of chances, and the Chelsea game, he probably should have scored more. I think he scored the one goal. I don't remember, but I think he can do. I think he can do better. Even if it's just 2 or 3 goals better, I still think he can do better. Like if he is the best striker in the world, then start converting some of these chances. Like, come on.
Well, I think that's a category mistake though, because is Haaland a scorer of great goals or is he a great scorer of goals? What is he? Because I can't think of a lot of strikers.
Probably the latter.
Yeah, I can't think of a lot of strikers. Give them in history, not just in general. I can't think of a lot. Give them 2 chances and he probably scores 1. Haaland is one of those strikers. You give him 2 big chances, he will score a goal. There is not a lot of strikers who can guarantee you that. You have a lot of strikers who can score 15 goals a season and will have some brilliant goals from very low value chances. But you don't have a lot of strikers. Take Alvaro Morata. He's a perfect example of the opposite of Haaland.
We're comparing to Morata. Oh no.
Yeah, he's the perfect example because he's the opposite of Haaland. Haaland is not going to score insane solo goals like Morata did, but you give Morata 3 big chances and he'll miss 3. You give Haaland 3 big chances, he'll score a goal or 2. You don't have a lot of strikers who can guarantee you give them chances and they will score. You just don't have a lot of those.
I'm not going to blame Haaland for what's going on right now. I think there's just a lot of problems with the team, and I think we've outlaid some of them. But I still think he can do slightly better.
No, of course he can do better. Of course he can do better. But there's a lot of players who can do better. But right now, I do not blame Rodri. I think it's ridiculous when people blame Rodri. I do not blame Haaland. I do not blame Donnarumma. I do not blame Nunez. I've seen people blaming Nunez again recently.
Yeah. Oh, I'm hearing that the first leg was all Husanov's fault.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been having that debate.
Yeah.
It's not Donnarumma's fault for leg 1. Donnarumma did have a stinker, but again, they carved our midfield open, and that's a midfield issue. That's not really, if the midfield held the ball like they used to hold the ball, then we probably wouldn't be having these problems. But yeah, again, there's just the quality has declined, and I think we have better players that have just been sitting on the bench. Not better players overall, just better players in 2026, or more physical and more athletic and more agile type players. Like I think we have the players, we're just not using them, and that's been my biggest gripe this past couple of weeks is just not using our squad.
But by the way, I think Martin is perfectly spot on. We have to stop dividing this fan base, but let's be honest, it will continue until we win another big trophy.
We have to stop what? I didn't see the comment. Sorry.
Yeah, we have to stop the fighting amongst ourselves and the fan base. But let's be honest, it will continue until we win a league title.
Well, I hesitate to see it as a fighting, but I mean, yeah, we disagree. We get in spirited debates, and they're lively, and we hear each other out.
No. I don't mean us. I don't mean us
Okay.
specifically, but I mean like you know, to the other people in the fan base just going the extra mile.
Yeah, true. Most of that's on Twitter, though. Just it's very easy to just block these people. Very, very easy. There's a mute button. I know that the athletes can't do it, but we can do it.
Use that block button. I promise you, it will make Twitter a lot better for you. By the way, Hugo Ekitike supposedly great striker, all technical and all that stuff. First touch though, you know, not all that.
Oh, did something happen in that game?
Yeah, Hugo taking a harder the first touch.
Oh, well, that sounds familiar. We've seen a couple of that lately. I like Antoine Semenyo. I like the player. I think in that first leg is just that was a really precarious position to put him in. Just it didn't suit him at all. And yeah, when you mentioned a first touch, I'm gonna have nightmares about his first touch in that game because he just constantly lost the ball with that touch. And again, that's on the manager for putting a player who doesn't have the skill set into a position where he needs that skill set. And when we had the player who had the skill set to suit that position on the bench.
Yeah, but by the way, it's talking about Semenyo, because you did bring him up. Now the fan base is killing him.
It's unfair. I don't think he's been played appropriately. Maybe since he got here, he's not going to ever be a 10.
When we played him as an inverted forward of the right, he was scoring goals and
yeah, he looked better. Yeah,
and that's all he needed. But now he plays in the 10.
Yeah, the 10 and like a striker. I don't know if that suits him. Yeah, the 10 is that's a disaster. That is a complete disaster. Not his fault at all. I'm critical of the performance, but I don't blame him. He's being asked to do. We've seen a lot of players over the years. Pep has asked them to do things they simply can't do. I remember Alvarez struggling in that, in certain roles that he had, and that's probably why he left the team, because he was like, I don't want to be. There was one game he played Alvarez next to Rodri. I'm like, what are you doing? He's a striker. Don't play him as a 6 and a pivot. What are we doing, or something, or an 8 or whatever that weird role was. So I just mentioned Alvarez because I just showing him on the screen because I'm watching that game, but. Yeah, I think Semenyo, he's been here 5-6 weeks. Relax, people. Just relax. Give him a chance to settle in.
Speaking of relax, big up Steve.
Steve?
Yeah, Strasbourg
Steve.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't have the chat open. I can't see it. Yeah, what up, Steve?
He just joined and she's told us to relax. I think you're gonna need to just debrief for a little bit, because we got humiliated, but that bit words from you guys, and
yeah, that was a spanking in the second half of that game, but it was very enjoyable to watch. Just as a football, not watching Newcastle get beat up, but just watching Barcelona just play some free flowing football. I was literally getting the tears almost up. I was like, I remember when City used to play like this, and it just made me sad to see what we're playing right now. We used to play fast like that. We used to play, killer through balls, direct passes.
That's just 3 months ago.
We used to have that quality, but we don't have a Pedri on our team, so we can't do that. Spartacus was right about Pedri. That guy is amazing.
I mean,
he's very fun to watch. Very, very, very elite player. That's just he's a great player.
But by the way, Vasco, I see a lot of people say this. A lot is a relative term, of course, but there are a few people, older Man City fans, who are foreign, who support Man City because of Oasis or the Manchester music scene. So I've seen people say this before. So I do think it's a real thing.
That's how a lot of Americans got into Man City. It was because of Oasis.
Yeah, there you go. Vasco, you're in America, right? Because I know you're Brazilian, but a few of our Brazilians are in America. I can't remember if you're in America. Big up Adam. That's a Brazilian in America. There you go. How are you? It's
Okay.
now on
I was like,
YouTube.
what Adam are we talking about here? Not True City fan Adam. I don't think.
No. We've got. I've got so many Brazilians in my chat. My chat is owned by Brazilians. Yeah, you know, on my channel.
Shout out
when I had,
Brazil.
like, when I had like 500 subscribers, like 80% of or something like that of my watch time was from Brazilians. My channel used to be like Brazilian property, I swear down. And now it's gone down to like 40% or something. Salute to both of you. But the Belgian League, if you're wondering why, the Belgian League is very popular in Brazil for some reason. I don't know why. So I had a lot of Brazilians over when I first started. Playing Semenyo in the 10, then playing Semenyo out wide and right wing. Second leg where he's an inside forward. Yeah, I agree. It's not a bad player. It's just a misused player.
Yeah.
I think it's that simple.
It's kind of like Marmouche. Maybe Pep just doesn't know what to do with Semenyo. And then that's where you have to kind of question, like, why are we like the player? Like, are we getting a player that fits a Pep profile? And you might have to question the scouting and the sporting director for bringing a player in that the manager can't necessarily use. And it almost feels, this could be like Marmouche 2.0, and like neither of them necessarily fit Man City. At least the way we're trying to play.
It's interesting that you say that, because I'm not sure if you watched my video that I dropped a few days ago. But I did talk in that video about why a reason why Pep probably discarded the old system is because there was no clear place for Marmouche in that system. So I theorized that he dropped that system in order to be able to play Marmouche more, and later Semenyo who joined.
Like the direct system from 2025? Okay.
Yeah, so it's interesting that you bring that up, because I do think it's difficult to get all these goal scorers working together. And I don't even think this system in particular is doomed to work. But you have a front three who will not create. When you have what we have with that two-striker system is it's not just a two-striker system. You have like a 10 behind them, if you can even call them a 10. It's like a fourth midfielder. It's, like 4-4-2 diamonds, basically. That's what it is. But in a very weird way. And when you have that, you expect a lot of fluid play, and you have a bit of a front triangle. And you expect rotations to create things. And that is not happening. So how do you make up for that? We don't. I think it can work.
The attack just sputters.
Yeah. I think you can make that work if you have the creativity from midfield. But you don't. So you go put it in the front three. But you don't. And now you're outsourcing it to fullbacks.
Yeah. And then they become very easy to mark out. Like, not even just the fullbacks. Like when he asked Dalco to do it by himself at the Bernabeu, he just got marked out. And then nothing got created. So
yeah,
it hasn't been working for me. I mean, I think the winger thing works better when the fullbacks are overlapping, but we don't see that from game to game. And you really need to get a creator in that midfield. You do. You have to have somebody in there who can create. And out of the three that we've been playing, Bernardo, Rodri, Nico O'Reilly is the only like quasi creative one, and I would argue that he's not actually creating a lot. So it's very hard. And sometimes they're even struggling to get the ball to the forwards who then don't know what to do with the ball. Because, I think Marmouche can kind of create a chance for himself, but, that's not going to get Semenyo and Holland involved. And so he basically would have to just do it himself. And he didn't do it himself. So we didn't score, we struggled to score in some of those games. So, yeah. Maybe there has been a theory that there's just too many players and Pep doesn't know what to do with them all. Maybe there is some truth to that. He's trying to fit everybody in, and that's why the system keeps changing. Because like I said earlier, and I've said on other streams, I think our best reign of form was where we won like 8 in all comps. We were playing the same lineup every game. So that was the consistency, the chemistry was forming, and it just was easier for everyone to. They knew where they were supposed to go. There was no experiments. It was just the same thing every day, and we excelled. We won 8 games in a row.
consistency matters. You saw it when we won the Champions League and the treble. It was the same 11 every game, bar injuries.
Yeah, literally. The only change that happened in that treble season, like starting wise, was Ake and Walker. Because Ake got injured in the Bayern game, and so then Walker probably would have come in anyway for the Vinicius aspect of the Madrid, because he did very well against Vinicius in that tie.
He was probably always going to play that game, but that's just a very specialist role. For the most part, that was pretty much the same starting left the entire knockout competition through. And that
the same system too. The system didn't change ever. Yeah, the only thing that really changed is the subs. And it was like the only one I really remember that well is when De Bruyne got injured in the final and Foden came on, and we still played the same way.
I'm certainly frustrated. I'm reading from chat here. I'm certainly frustrated, but that is life. It'll pass. All things must pass. I don't know why that a George Harrison quote in a chat here, but big up Vasco. We will be back if we make the right choices. But if we don't make the right choices, we'll be in the mud for the next 5 years. That is double-sided. Now, I'm not saying we will be in the mud, but I'm just saying that that is two-sided. You can't say we will be back in the future. If we make the right choices, we will be. And if we make the wrong choices, we won't be. So that's a bit of a moot point, in my opinion. Salah just tried a dribble and booted the ball to the atmosphere. Hey, he's trying his best, Juna. He's trying his best.
Like I said, father time comes for everyone. It also comes for Mo Salah. Oh, but Liverpool are up. Uh-oh. I haven't even looked at the score. Szoboszlai is having such a good season.
Yeah.
Bayern have also scored. Harry Kane, a penalty. Shock. They don't have the 16-year-old in there. They found somebody who's overage.
They probably have like Spurs a B team, don't they?
Oh no. Spurs just scored. That's 5-3. Oh my god. If the Spurs remontada, you know how embarrassing that's gonna be?
No. If Spurs remontada,
God.
Then there are more Premier League teams in the quarterfinal than any other league.
Jeez. Yeah, because we are severe. There could literally just be one English team left after tonight. That's how. I mean, it looks like Liverpool might. Well, actually, that's a 1-1 aggregate, isn't it?
Yeah, it's 1-1 on aggregate.
Okay, so that's a 1-1.
Liverpool at Anfield is not going to lose. Let's be honest.
I think they've been kind of bad at Anfield. Well, they were up. They lost last year at Anfield. Remember that? Donnarumma, penalty shootout hero. That was at Anfield. That wasn't at Parc de Princes. That was the name of it. Is Parc de Princes?
Yeah, fair. But I do think Liverpool gets through. Galatasaray is not as good as people think, as well. They're just got pretty good. Galatasaray's fans are also like Galatasaray is just not that relevant of a team. They have a lot of fans, but they're not actually that team. It's just Turkish fans, and they have insane fan culture. Fair enough to them. I don't think we need Rodri. I do think we need a Rodri Gonzalez double pivot. I don't think we need that. I think it will work if we do that. I think there are other solutions. I'm not saying you have to do this.
Yeah. And the problem is we just waited too long to test it out. So this came up in a chat or a conversation I had in a different stream when I was doing the watch along. It's too late to experiment with it now. We had the time to do it. We didn't do it. And because somebody was asking me, like, would you want to see it in the cup final? And I'm like, no, I don't want to see it in the cup final because I haven't seen it before. If we had tried this out in other games, maybe we would know if it worked or not. Because I just don't think the final is where you experiment.
Would you, for the cup final, drop Rodri?
No.
Because I think if you're going with that argument, the system that worked best was without Rodri. It was Gonzalez, Silva, and one of Tijani or Foden in midfield. That's the system that's worked best for us this season.
I think we're just too far into what we're doing right now. Nico G hasn't played a lot lately, so I don't know if I would just bring him off the bench cold for a final. Which is why I keep saying we should have played him more. Because as we discussed earlier, that Rodri and Bernardo tend to drop off at the end of games because they're just not fit enough to play 90 minutes every 3 games. There were ample opportunities to give Nico G 10 minutes here, 15 minutes here, 20 minutes here, to give Rodri a rest so that he could perform. Because obviously Rodri's a starter. We know that. And I know Nico G is the backup to Rodri, but the backup should still play some minutes. He shouldn't just. I don't think spamming out Rodri 90 minutes every game is doing us or him any better. Because, like I said, we keep dropping off in the second half of games and dropping points in the second half of games. So, you got to think that could be a factor. Is Rodri's fitness could be a factor in us dropping points, and not just him. Obviously Bernardo Silva as well. We have the bench, use it. He doesn't want to use the bench, and that's I think that's just what's been frustrating the hell out of me.
I was watching, and if you know Belgian, Dutch, German media, like that region of Europe is just very blunt. It's just very blunt with their commentary, and they have like a show where they bring on like a professional retired footballer or like something like that. And it's every week, and they talk about the Premier League. And one of them said, because the presentator said, Man City keep giving games away. This was after the Brighton draw, if you remember the 1-1.
Yeah.
And he asked the pro footballer why that is. And he responded with, Pep's never been a good game manager. He just won the games in first half. So he then needs to be a good game manager. But now when he can't win the game in the first half, he can't win it in the second half either. And that was very blunt. I don't fully agree with it, but I do think that's part of that, where the game management skill is maybe not as good as what people sometimes like to say about Pep. Because I do think Pep, he won a game before it started. You know what I mean? He would have the best players.
Intimidation factor,
he would take players. He would take teams apart. He would invent the systems. If things are going bad for Pep, by the time it's 60 minutes played, it's very rare that he does fix it up. Now, there are moments where he does. I do think it's unfair to say he can't do it. I mean, he did it against Aston Villa. But I think if you look at his entire tenure, he doesn't do it a lot.
Yeah. And one of the biggest complaints on social media about him is how bad the subs are all the time.
Yeah, but that's always
kind of lays credence to what you're saying.
I think that's always been a thing with Pep, though. I don't think that's new. What's new is that he's no longer got the best starting 11 in the league, and his tactics are becoming a bit outdated.
Well, what is aggravating me about this season so much is that I think he found the way to play. Oh, God. Dude, Spurs are cooking these guys right now. That's embarrassing. Again, I think he found a way. Like, he adapted to the league with that play, what we were doing earlier. I keep referencing it, but like that wasn't Pep ball. That was something new and different, and it worked. So I know he can figure this out. He's just choosing not to. And that's what's driving me crazy. Like, he found a system that suited all of our players. We were winning games. Everybody was happy. The goals were going around. Like, I think it worked, and he just stopped doing it. He just completely stopped doing it. And
we both know why, though.
Because Rodri allegedly can't do it?
Yeah, he's not got the physicality for it. Because when you play that system relied on Nico Gonzalez sitting deep and just being an absolute unit in midfield. Rodri, straight back of an ACL, cannot do that.
No, that's why I keep saying, play them together. And Nico G can just sit back, and Rodri can go forward, and that suits Rodri's skills the best. That suits what Nico G does the best. I just wanted to see it. We never saw it.
I completely agree, but I do just have to I do have to caveat it with if you have an injury, which of course it's such as you can't predict injuries, right? If you have an injury to Gonzalez, then your entire system does collapse.
Yeah, and that's probably why we moved away from it, because he did get injured.
Yes, so I do think that's fair. I do think it's fair to have that Rodri double pivot with O'Reilly as well, but I think we just we just keep locking ourselves into one way or the other way. We can't try to find a middle ground to optimize because we've got two very different brands of players. If you look at the old players, they are very much so reliant on that tiki-taka, hold the ball, possession football. You look at the younger players, they're the opposites. And you've got that clash within your own squad. And I feel like the solution to that is don't do one, don't do the other, do something in between. And I don't think we're trying to find that compromise.
Yeah, that might just be something you can't find a solution to either. I don't know who really can play those two styles combined. I mean, are you suggesting? No, not Jurgen Klopp ball. I'm not tactically knowledgeable enough to really think of a team that can do that.
I wouldn't call it Klopp ball per se, what we played in the first half of the season, but it was pretty close to
it wasn't.
It was pretty close.
Yeah, less intense though, because I don't think that Bernardo Silva at age 31 could have played that kind of style, that intensity of a style over the course of the whole season. But he was fine in that system, though.
Yeah, the style was the same, but you can't match the intensity with the players we have.
No. Well, maybe a couple, maybe the younger ones, not the older ones.
Even the younger ones. If you want to play club ball, you need a Gibbs White. I know people don't like Gibbs White.
Yeah, I think Turkey is lacking some match fitness. I don't think he can go the full 90 at high level. And Doku is the same way. But if you gave them the time to, if you ran him out there a lot, they might develop they might actually build up the stamina and the fitness. But if you keep hooking them at 65 minutes, they'll never develop it. Because sometimes that can be the hardest part of a race, or something that's the time thing. You gas out towards the end, and that's the hardest thing to work on. The end of a race, that last mile could be the most intense mile of the entire thing. It's just where how do you develop that extra whatever it is to get you over the line? Is you just have to keep doing it, and you just have to keep doing it. And if you're not getting the chance to, it's going to be more difficult to develop it.
Yeah, no. I get as well that in a title race, you want to play the same players and you just want to keep that consistency, but we're not bringing them off the bench either. We're just not making it we could be making these changes after 50 minutes, but we don't. We make them after 80 minutes, and that's I think where just a massive problem has been. Even when the starting 11s have been okay, the substitutes have just waited too long. By the way, Vasco says, I think our future lies with Vinny Company.
It might, yeah.
It might.
I don't think the near future, though.
I think Pep will see out his contract.
I do, too. I'm not buying this Indy Kayla story about they're begging him to stay. I don't believe anything that guy says. I think he got one thing right, and then that was about it.
Well, it doesn't matter if they want Company to stay. We'll just pay him out. So it doesn't matter. You just pay the compensation and he comes over. It's not like players where you need to agree a fee. All you need to do.
Isn't there like a buyout clause or something? I'm not sure.
A manager contract doesn't really work like that. You can pay. It's very different. You can pay compensation to the club that you're taking them from, and they can just leave. It's like quitting a job, basically. But it's a bit different. But you can take managers a lot easier than you can take players. But you still need to pay them out.
Yeah.
But I do think we will do that. By the way, Rodri trying to leave. I'm gonna be honest, I think Rodri does leave if we don't win any trophies. Rodri is a smart guy, and Rodri wants to end his career probably winning trophies. And he sees the trajectory of the club, and he's like, I'm not sure what's happening right now, I'm not going to extend until I see what happens. That's why he's so non-committal.
Yeah.
That's why he's so non-committal. I don't think he wants to make a decision yet. I think he wants to say, let's see if we win a trophy here this season. Let's see if the mentality is here at the end of the season. And then we go from there. And I think that's fair on him. It's fair on him. He is one of the best players in the world. He was the Ballon d'Or winner. And what have we won since his injury? Nothing. So I do think it's fair for the Rodri to be looking at this club and saying, do you guys actually deserve me? I think that's completely fair on him.
I do too, yeah. I think his quote that came out like yesterday, the day before, that screams to me he's not signing a new contract. That doesn't mean he leaves this summer, but that screams to me that he's not going to sign a new contract. And because if he was, he would have signed it already. Because I think every day he doesn't sign a contract, it's like costing him money. Because if we're promising to up his wages, like I'm sure that would be like prorated, and he'd be getting that like now. He wouldn't have to wait 2 years to get that money. He'd be start earning it now. So
yeah, but
I don't know exactly how that works, though. I could be wrong. I think he's not going to sign a contract.
He can negotiate. He can negotiate a very big signing fee. So
yeah.
I'm
starting to see a scenario where I think he stays this summer, and I think he just leaves on a free.
Yeah, I can see that too. Madrid do like a free transfer, don't they?
I think he's gonna go to Barcelona. I really do. I think he's going to go play with Pedri and Yamal. Because remember how much in his Ballon d'Or speech, he was giving Yamal like so much praise. Like I could see him wanting to kind of go be like the father figure to these players. I mean, he already is on the national team. I could see him wanting to do that at the club level as well. And him and Pedri together in the midfield. That would be disgusting. That would be so enjoyable to watch. But I don't know if he has the off-ball thing, because De Jong is quite good off-ball, so I don't know if that would really. But De Jong's injured all the time.
Scared of ball. That they just go ball to the wall.
Speaking of a high line, woof. A high line got cooked in the first half of the game, but they sorted it out. I totally forgot they had young Cancelo on their team. I'm like doing the lineups, and I'm like, oh my god, it's Cancelo. And then I didn't recognize him because he had normal-looking hair. I was like, what are we doing here? That
was a corrupt penalty, by the way, in that Barcelona game.
Which game?
Today. That was never a penalty.
Trippier dragged it. He was gonna score that goal. The cross was there, and the only reason he didn't is
the contact was soft. The contact was soft.
He literally dragged him. He literally pulled him and like dragged him away, like prevented him from running forward. Like he was gonna like just tap the ball in. That literally stopped the goal.
Nah.
I think that was a guaranteed goal they were gonna score. So and Trippier grabbed him by the arm and like
but that contact was not enough to stop Rafinha. Rafinha could have just bowed through and tapped it in, but he decided to dive.
Rafinha is a softie. Is that what we're saying? Is that what that's?
A lot of these footballers are softies, man. Bro.
That is La Liga, though. That is La Liga for you.
I grew up watching.
I wonder if Rafinha didn't make it in the Prem.
I grew up watching defenders like Ramos, yeah? And I remembered Ramos was my favorite defender growing up. I remember him just taking players out. Bro, you do that today, red card's gone. Like, bro, football is so soft on these attackers nowadays. And then you have Haaland, by the way. Yeah, look at how Haaland gets dragged down. Exact same thing, but that's then not a penalty. I don't know. Seems stupid to me. I can't lie. There's an inconsistency.
People were saying after the game, like, too, they're like, we got denied 2 Stonewall penalties in the first half. And I was like, what? They're like, the Turkey one. I was like, I don't think there was much contact there. I didn't see it.
Yeah, you mean our game?
Yeah, in our game. They said that we should have had a penalty within the first 10 or 15 minutes, like when Turkey got taken out in the box. I don't think he really got taken out that much, but what do I know?
Yeah, he didn't get taken out
Apparently
at all.
Not very much.
he didn't get taken out at all. He only went down to the floor when he lost the ball.
Yeah, I that for me, I don't think was really a penalty, and it didn't get called, so I don't have an issue with it not being called. But people were crying on social media about it. I get that's one thing I don't really comment on is the refs. I don't.
I mean,
I can't use that as an excuse for poor play.
I've said this a while now. Our fan base and Arsenal's fan base are one and the same. The only difference is Arsenal haven't won a trophy in a while. We have the exact same fan base. And the moment, that Man City stop winning trophies and Arsenal start winning trophies, Arsenal are going to be smug and they're going to say, oh, don't complain about the referees, and they're going to do all that. And Man City fans will be the ones talking about trebles and 70 million years ago. So that's just the way it goes. Rodri, there is a big chance Rodri does leave, but we do have to wrap up here pretty soon. Jack said that, but fuck Jack. Jack, go on. I mean by that.
Why is Alvarez taking corners? That makes no sense to me.
Is he?
That's so weird. Atletico make no sense to me at all. I don't know why. Alvarez is taking corners.
Maybe he takes a good corner. But fuck whatever Jack Gogan says. I'll fuck him.
What did he say? Oh, the thing about Pep, yeah. I made a tweet about I wonder if Pep has lost the dressing room, and I got attacked for that one. I was like, some of these decisions he's making, I'm questioning if some of the players are listening to him anymore. Because when you just keep benching Turkey when we need goals, and you're rewarding players for not playing well and punishing the ones who do play well, I can see how some people he might have lost a couple of the players. Like Nico G is one of them. Like I think he's lost Nico G because Nico G has not. I don't think Nico G has played as terribly as based on the minutes he's getting. I don't think he's put up any stinkers to be that ignored. It just doesn't make sense to me. So I could see him losing that. And Galatasaray just saved a penalty.
Liverpool washed. Big up Ash, by the way.
Salah washed.
Romero try not to vandalize your own team. Hey, sucks to suck. Can't wait for that Salah penalty. Yeah, he missed it.
He just missed it, yeah.
He always
it's 1-1 in aggregate right now. So they just switched the game because of it's the halftime in the Spurs game. So they're just showing this. Oh, it looks like
Alvarez does always take the the corners apparently for the Atletico. Anyhow, rounding up, we've got a cup final that we've not really talked about a lot, so I'm supposed to round up on that. If we play that same attack, Doku, Haaland, Turkey, I think there's a chance.
I agree.
The only chance that exists is you play that exact attack and no stupid red cards, please.
Yeah, I agree. I think if you just have to sort the attack out. I think the back line, you keep the same. You keep the two fullbacks. Obviously, Trafford and net, like he's earned it. I trust him. I think he's had some very big saves in particularly at St. James. He was brilliant. The only position I could see him really changing from that game is obviously Donnarumma and Trafford. And I could see Tijani coming out of the team. I'm not sure who you put in there. Probably just put Nico Riley back in. That would probably help because Arsenal do have a very physical midfield. So having a little bit to go,
Yeah.
We'll never outbeat them, but
He will never do this. But I think he should bench Bernardo for O'Reilly and keep Tijani in there. But he will not do that.
Yeah, that would help a lot because that would help. Yeah, I think that would. Yeah, exactly. But he just won't do it. Like there will be no ramifications for that red card for Bernardo. He won't get punished. But other players have brilliant games and then they never get seen again. It's like doesn't matter what he does. He just never gets benched and. That is starting to frustrate me because it's just I don't think he deserves to be playing every minute of every game.
If you're
not in 2026, I'm sorry. It's yeah. If he's leaving, then you would rather have other players start to in the Premier League in particular, give those minutes to some other players who need them to get better.
But Pep will just be like, oh, it's a final.
Yeah, he will. He will. Oh yeah, he will.
But by the way,
and we know how he is in finals. He's lost our last 3 finals. He usually does a madness in them. So I hope he doesn't this time. But I don't. That's why I'm not sure about this game because he keeps doing madnesses.
Don't put it past Pep to suddenly roll out Foden as well.
Yeah. I was saying that somewhere else, or maybe it was on here. They would be so Pep to just throw in an out-of-form Foden like he did with Raheem Sterling in the Champions League final against Chelsea.
There you go. Like he did. You remember Zinchenko playing that game as well? Oh
God.
yeah, we had so many strange decisions that game. I don't know what we do sometimes. Or like De Bruyne, a double pivot with Silva.
Yeah. Let's put our most creative person at the 6. Yeah, genius. And then we did. Oh, lo and behold, we didn't create any chances. Shocking.
But
again, you had players. And we knew they were going to counter too. And that's when Husanov had gotten banished to the deep end. And lo and behold, our center backs couldn't keep up with the pace, and we conceded a goal, a counter-attacking goal. Shocking. I don't know if we have to worry about that with Arsenal this time, though. But I do think Husanov will play because Gahey's ineligible. And to be fair, Husanov, if he gets dropped after that performance, Pep will lose him. Because he was. I think he was our best player on the pitch yesterday. Oh, you're on mute. See, I'm mute. Yep. You're on mute. I can't hear you. I'm going to message him. Okay, Alfie's having some problems with his mic. So I guess we won't hear from Alfie, but he's having microphone issues. I have to go because I have to go to work. So I guess I don't know if he's listening, but we'll give it 30 seconds. I'm gonna wait till the clock ticks 55. It's not quite there yet, but oh, there it just went. I don't know what's going on with Alfie, but oh, he just messaged me. Let me see what he says. Okay, he says round it up for him. So yeah, I'm gonna round it up real quick, and then I'm gonna leave, and it'll just be Alfie blank screen. But yeah, I think it's a 50-50 on Sunday. I think if Pep lines up similar to as he did yesterday, maybe a change or two. Obviously, Donnarumma being one of them, but maybe one change in the midfield. Then I think that gives us a much better chance to win the game. And I think we know what Arteta's going to do. He's going to roll out his same lineup because he doesn't make a lot of changes. So we'll see what happens. Obviously we will be there. I think Alfie's doing a watch along. I know my channel is. Not trying to steal your viewers, Alfie, but anyways. Everyone, thanks for tuning in. This has been Whining Wednesday. We haven't had a Whining Wednesday in a while, but yeah, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.